Welcome to Unshakable with Human Design, the show dedicated to helping entrepreneurs use human design to shift from hustle to flow without sacrificing results. Come here to become an unshakable human and build an unshakable business according to your human design. I'm your host, Nicole. Hello and welcome to Unshakable with Human Design, everybody. I'm your host, Nicole, and we're here together, just you and me today. And I want to go through one of the questions that I get asked an awful lot. And I think that this is a lot of times when entrepreneurs get drawn into human design, one of the questions that they ask is, well, how can human design influence my offers? How can I use human design to determine what type of content I should create? Should I have a podcast? What does my chart say? I hear that so often from people. They'd be like, well, what does my chart say about this? And I'm going to use some examples from some clients who have had things come up lately. And I'm going to just kind of talk through some of the ways that I see entrepreneurs get stuck on this question. And I'm going to talk you through how I talk them through that and what I'm looking for in somebody's chart to help determine what their business strategy should be. And by should, I mean could be. Because everything is could be. Let's start right there. We start to think of the chart as being this such a definitive thing. Oh, well, it says that I have to do this way, or I have to do it that way. And my line for that is, don't give your power away to anything, not even human design. You are the authority of you. If you're a generator, do you like it? Does it make you excited? If you're a projector, did people recognize you for this thing? And do you feel like you want to be recognized for it? It's not this hard set of rules that people seem to put in front of them, which honestly, I feel like is a form of self-sabotage. Looking for the answers outside of yourself and giving your power away to something even like the human design chart, which is supposed to be designed to put the power back in ourselves, is a form of self-sabotage. It's you abdicating your own authority. It's you not wanting to make a decision. It's you not being sure and looking for something to tell you this is what you should do. Well, human design is designed to tell you you don't follow shoulds. So how can we use the chart to help us feel really good about the choices that feel good to us? Help us understand ourselves more so that we start to have a greater connection to what is our energy and what's not. So one of the first things that I see with people that gets them stuck with using human design to influence their strategy is this feeling like the chart comes first. It's almost like they stop asking themselves any questions. They stop thinking about what they want. They stop thinking about what they really feel called to do. They almost put their whole expertise aside and they're looking to start from scratch. Okay, well, tell me what my fortune says I should be doing. And that's not how I find the best results come, both in fulfillment and in actual tangible results. Usually that's just another way that you're going to spin in circles and you're going to create something that doesn't feel right and you're going to wonder why. And the truth is it's because of where the decision came from. It came from a disempowered place. You didn't put you in the equation. So you are not going to be happy with the outcome of that equation. So what do we do about that? You have to come to it with your own desires, with your own feedback, with your own process. So for instance, what I look at with the chart and business is I'm always talking to my clients and having them come to me with their ideas, the things that they're doing. And then I'll look to the chart to help them understand maybe the nuances in that decision. So I had a client come to me and she was saying how, she'd like to travel more and she's sort of feeling guilty about traveling so much, but maybe she would have a traveling podcast because she has all of these people that she's meeting and she wants to start to put more of a message out there, maybe step into that role of being like a host of an in-person podcast. And what I said to her was, well, the fact that you have an open G center means that you can certainly feel like you're not lovable, not doing enough, not caring for people enough. So there can be guilt for you not being home. But also with an open G center, you take in the experiences, you take in the environment that you're in. The people that you meet actually are fuel for you finding your own purpose. So the fact that you want to travel and sort of feed yourself with other experiences, other cultures, other places, and that fills you up, I find that's just very true for a lot of open G center people. But they don't feel confident in doing that all the time. They have guilt. They have other ways that they're conditioned to feel like that way is wrong. So to me, what I'm doing is, it's not whether the podcast is right or not. What I said to her was, I think your energy really supports this. And there were other aspects of her chart that were sort of yelling out that this could be a really good thing for her. But the ultimate last word on all of this is, well, do you want it? She came to me saying, I feel like this is a yes. I feel like whenever I'm in response to these rooms and these people that I'm meeting, that I want to do more. Well, okay. Well, let's work with that. First of all, you don't need further confirmation if you're a generator, that if something lights you up, you don't really need more confirmation than that. However, if you have other conditioning where the outside world is starting to make you feel bad about something that makes you feel good, then the chart can help. And what does it help you do? It helps you dig into the exact spot where something is holding you back. Because if she allowed that conditioning to overshadow what she truly wanted, that's what conditioning is, people. That's what holds us back. And we don't know it because it seems so rational. Well, I have to be home for this, or my family needs me for this, or I don't want to ask my husband to support me this way. Conditioning. You have an open solar plexus and you don't want to have a difficult conversation with a spouse about an investment that you want to make, about a trip you want to take, about something you want to do for yourself because you're afraid of what they're going to say. And you're afraid that they're going to maybe come back at you with an uncomfortable response. That's conditioning. The solar plexus, the not self of the solar plexus, of an undefined solar plexus, is to avoid confrontation and truth. So if you're getting a yes from your sacral, or if you're a projector and you are getting an invitation to go someplace, but the thought of having the uncomfortable conversation is just so restrictive to you and so undesirable to you, like you can't imagine doing it. It's so uncomfortable for you. If that's where you go, then you are absolutely giving in to the conditioning and ignoring your strategy and authority. This is how we start to find what our design is actually telling us. Because in real life, what it's doing is, oh, I want to start this podcast, I want to do this. You have this idea, but you never make a move toward it. Why? Because the conditioning takes over. But human design comes in as a pattern interrupt that says, wait. I'm supposed to do what makes me feel good. And this makes me feel good. And I'm super excited about it. And every time I think about it, or every time I have a conversation with somebody, I get so excited, I can't even help myself but want to dive into this, right? But your conditioning gets in the way. But then the idea of something else or the obligations that you have get in the way. This is that pattern interrupt. I'm supposed to do what makes me feel happy. I'm supposed to do what makes me feel satisfied. I'm supposed to do what lights me up, but I'm not. Why am I not? Does that align with my conditioning? Are my actions aligned with my strategy and authority and what's actually supposed to be driving me to action? Or are my actions being driven by my not self? It's a very simple system once you understand what your parts are. You don't need to be a human design reader to start to use this as that map to how to stay out of your not self themes and out of your not self in general, and letting this alternate you that does not lead you to your higher self, that does not lead you to your purpose, to take the power away from it and to put it into what is right for you. It also sheds light on how much we're not doing that, on how often we are giving our power away to this not self, to the thing that, to our conditioning, and not to what is true for us and what is correct for us and what will lead us to our purpose. But what will we do? We'll book a human design reading. We will join a program, maybe we'll buy a course, and we will look for a chart to tell us what our purpose is. But a purpose is lived. It is lived. It is not a definition on a piece of paper. It's so much more than that. And no one will ever know what their purpose is until they're living in alignment with it. And then it just shows up. Then it starts to become who you are. But let's talk a little bit more about strategy. So when we're using human design to influence business strategy, there are absolutely things to consider. And sometimes it will tell us things that will or will not work for us. Now, again, if I'm so excited about something, so I'm going to give you an example from my business. We had a membership called the Human Design Lab for a year. And I was very excited about this idea. I really wanted to do something lower ticket so that people could jump in. I really desired to have people in long term with me because that's where people get the results and they start to actually see their human design work. Because you can book a reading and the reading is huge because it gives you that boost of understanding what the chart means. But now you got to live it. So my idea was I'm going to have this membership that's going to be this no-brainer that people jump in, and every month they're diving into a different piece of their design. They're really going deep and they're really learning to live by it. We're going to change lives with this membership. Now, you've probably, if you've listened to this show for any period of time, you've probably heard me talk about how I have 0 4 lines in my design. 0, not one of them in all of my placements, not 1 4 line. So this, I'm a 5. I believe it's 10 5 lines in my design. It's a lot of 5. And the difference between the 4 and the 5, these are both in the transpersonal space. They're not transpersonal destinies. There's a slightly different meaning to that, but they're in the involved with the other section. 1, 2, and 3 lines are more about your internal stuff. 4, 5, and 6 are about interaction with the rest of the world. Now, the 4 is here to have influence over the people that it knows. It holds on to people. These are the connectors. These are the networkers. These are the people that have the same friends from kindergarten until like their deathbed. These are those people. The 5s are here to have influence over strangers. We are not necessarily meant to have friends or colleagues or clients forever and ever and ever. And that doesn't mean that we can't have them. There are going to be some of those people who stay. There are going to be some of those people that are your people, that see you, that get it, that learn from you, that really honor your value. However, they are going to be fewer. Typically, if you're a 5, you're going to have fewer of those people than you will a 4. And the connection won't be as like, let's talk every day, right? There's a difference in the way that our energy pulls people in. It pulls people in different ways. So for me, membership, where it was keeping people in this space, building community, is such a huge part of a membership. It didn't work. It's not my strength. It's not what I do. Now, could it have worked? I mean, it didn't fail miserably. We had people in it. We did do it, but it wasn't growing. It was very hard. I didn't feel like my energy did what it does like in my Business by Design program, which is obviously my high ticket program or medium ticket. That is my mentorship. That's more like a mastermind style where we're building your business and we're growing you, recording your human design. I mean, there's so much that we do in there. That's a long-term container, but the energy is just very different in there because you're working with me much more closely. It's different. But the membership just never quite caught on. Now, it doesn't mean that I could never have a membership or no 5 line could have a membership. No, that's not what it means. However, there was part of me that knew that maybe that wasn't the right container for what I wanted to do, but I didn't know how else to do it, so I just went with it. But after that experience, because sometimes we have to have an experience for something to be proved true to us, was I did it and I felt how my energy didn't feel right in there. I felt how it was very difficult to really create the level of connection that I needed and the level of impact that I needed. I wasn't really able to deliver the solutions that I can deliver, which is a 5 lines magic, that I can inside Business by Design. So now when I form containers, when I form programs, when I create new things, I'm always thinking about that experience. I'm going off of my gut and what feels good. However, I'm also saying like, well, what's the way that I can really deliver a result and a solution to people? The whole rolling, enrollment membership community thing where you just stay in it forever and you're kind of learning these different things, it just didn't work. The result and the solution wasn't clear enough. So that informed, my design informed why that didn't work. It wasn't me. It's just not my energy. So I probably will not create another membership again. Not like that. I will create lower ticket offers. I will create other things, but they're going to be very different in what I deliver and how I deliver it. It's going to be much more me teaching. It's going to be much more of, I'm going to deliver you this solution. Here's the problem that you have. Here's the solution that I can deliver. That's my magic. And that's what you'll see me create. And that's where people get exactly what they want from me. Community, that's not what I do. And I don't see that as a limitation. I just see that as a truth. And I don't enjoy it. So I don't really want to do that anyway. And it doesn't mean that I can't have friends. And I want to be that, I'm trying to make that clear because I don't want 5 lines to be like, oh, she's saying I can't do this or I can't do that. You have to check in with your own energy. But the truth was that I sensed that a membership wasn't really going to work. There was something in me that didn't really want to do that and what you had to do to make a membership work. But I wanted to deliver this type of program and I didn't know how else to do it at such a low price point without it being a membership and without it being the way that it was. I didn't know how to do that. So I went with the membership by default. And I learned not to do that anymore. So our design can help us decide whether what we want to do really is supported by our energy. And we can ask better questions. So now when I want to build a low ticket offer, and now when I want to get a specific transformation, there are ways that I'm tweaking that strategy. Shorter term, smaller programs that deliver on a specific result and people can opt into them or they cannot. They could pay to be in this shorter term container. And then we have longer term things that are available, like Business by Design and like something else that we are going to be launching in 2025. We have some cool stuff that we're going to try out. We're going to see how it goes. Different ways for people to jump in with me. All very much, though, at the core of what my genius is and what, as a 5-1, people get the most from me when I structure them this way. There are so many aspects of your chart, and I can't tell you which ones necessarily. Profile is obviously one. Your type is going to tell you whether the thing is right for you or not. That's your own internal mechanism to know whether you have the sustainability for something. There are very different things that I advise projectors creating than I advise generators from creating. Generators, recently I have a friend who came to me, and she's a 4-6, and she's starting a community. And when she explained to me what she wanted to do with this community, she was just telling me what her idea was. She was telling me that she wanted to build a community. She really wanted, like, that felt like a real calling for her to bring people together. She wanted to teach within that community. And she kind of talked about her structure of how she wanted to go into this new offer. And I told her, well, as a 4-6 generator, this makes perfect sense because it gives you space to iterate your idea, which generators are good at. We're going to build it. We're going to optimize it. We're going to grow it. And then the community aspect, that 4 line is going to draw people to you. That's definitely, you can hold a group together is really what the 4 tells us. You can have influence over the people that you know and the people that know those people. And then as a 6 line, you're sort of a born teacher. Typically they are. Doesn't mean every single one of them is. but that is a very common trait of 6 lines. They can typically break things down in a way that people can really understand, and they get a big picture better than anyone else. So with those aspects, it's like, I see how your design really supports what it is that you want to do. That's not the end of it. People think that that's the only way to work with your human design in business. It's not. Now you work on your gifts. Now you work on staying out of your conditioned self. So you keep making better decisions. You decondition yourself. So you are regulating your nervous system and clearing out old beliefs that are keeping you stuck in old patterns. You use the human design chart to tell you where you have growth potential, where you might be living in shadow. So you aren't just trying to fix the whole thing. You're able to look at the map and say, oh, well, this is telling me that this shadow exists. And yes, I do see that come up in my life a lot. Maybe that's one I should work on. Maybe I'll focus here. And that's what I do in the Genius Brand process, is we break down the most important pieces of your chart for business, which I call the authority matrix. We break that down. And as I take you through it, I do it in a business reading, and I do it throughout your whole time in the program. And there's digital course stuff and a whole workbook and all this stuff that you can work with on tuning all of your gifts to a higher frequency. And that changes you, and that changes your results. But most people won't do that work, and it's sad to me. They'll spend all of this money on courses, they will buy readings, they will read books, but they won't actually implement the work. And some people don't know what the work is. So this is why I'm telling you what it is right now. If you fall into that category of not knowing what the work is noticing how these shadows and gifts have been present in your life. And then when you want to take it to the next level, getting into a container with someone like me, doesn't have to be me, but a mentor who understands human design, and as you're talking to them and explaining the things that are happening in your life, they can call out, do you see how that's your gate 30 right there? Do you see how it's this gate right here? Do you see that? Okay, great. So now dig into it this way. What I do with my clients is I give them EFT tappings. I give them breath works. I give them ways to start to break up this energy and help them transcend the shadow and step into their gifts. It's hard to read the label from the inside of the bottle. I get it. That's what coaches are for. It isn't just to teach you stuff. A good coach is somebody who can point out in real time what they know your shadows and blocks are so that you can deal with them right there. Teach you how to use your triggers as a map to the gold that lies within inside of you so you can move past those things, so you can be a next level human. Okay, I hope that you found this episode helpful. I hope you loved it. I hope that you share this. Please, if you loved the episode, please share it on Instagram. Share it with your friends. Tell people about the show. Help us get the word out. I appreciate it every time you do. And be sure to tag me. If you share it on Instagram, please tag me. I'm at Nicole Leno Official. I always appreciate seeing your feedback and your ahas and the moments that meant something to you. And I appreciate all of your support as always. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate you. And remember, in order to have an unshakable business, you must first become an unshakable human. So thanks for letting us help you become unshakable with human design, everyone. We'll see you next time. If you love this episode and you're a fan of the show, please show us the love on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you're listening to the show, and leave us a review. And if you'd like to connect with other entrepreneurs on their human design journey, join our free Facebook community, Human Design for Entrepreneurs. Go to nicoleleno.me/podcast links to join the group, book a human design reading with me, or access our free human design resources. We'll see you there.